great success and achievements in our mission, of course, to bridge cultures, to build on our leadership here, and also to benefit our communities. And so again, we're very excited to partner with the Georgia Tech Cyber to host all of you here for the China Goes Global, the 9th iteration of the China Goes Global Forum. We have actually prepared for you this evening. This is kind of our second home for all of our NACA board. Our first home is, of course, at the home of our esteemed chair, Lanny Wong, where we host our meetings and she'll even cook for us from time to time. This evening, this is our second home here at Canton House, and we have ordered a 10-course feast for you. So we encourage you, please enjoy, mix, mingle, have a great time. We've got the bar, we've got plenty of food. But before we get to all of that, we do have a few items that I think you'll enjoy. In particular, I'll ask John McIntyre to provide some remarks, but also he has some paper awards to announce. So we have a couple winners and a couple prizes that are sponsored this year by NACA, and we think that that'll be a little excitement here for you. So I'll turn over to John if he would like to say a few words.
Yes, I'll speak from here. Thank you, Rick. I've known Rick for a long time. He actually is a distinguished guy. He has an MBA from our sister institution, Georgia State, but also a degree from the Paris Sorbonne and I think Rio as well. So we're delighted to be working with him. Rick is in charge of international operations at the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. But I really, in my few remarks, and they'll be very short indeed, I want to really express our appreciation to someone you have already met, Lanny Wong, whom I have known really, I think, since the late 1980s. We've done a lot on China of an outreach nature, and always when with Lanny, with class, with a depth and a heft that we as an academic institution could not reproduce. In spite of the fact that we have 1,600 Chinese graduate and postdoctoral students, we could not match what Lanny commands in terms of resources and contacts and esprit de corps. So Lanny, from the bottom of my heart, for all your travails and your internal patience in putting up with us academics, and in this case many academics from different parts of the world, my deep thanks and appreciation, but also to your husband, who is a significant part of this operation, and to all of the board. And I would be remiss if I did not mention Yong Mar, who is really an advisor in many ways to the board, to this association, but to many of us at Georgia Tech, to Chinese students, to Chinese professors, and to this professor, among others. He has lectured pro bono in my class on a few occasions, and we have always really learned a lot about Chinese history, but in a contemporary business context. So my appreciation to you all on the NACA board. I want to acknowledge the Chinese Globalization Association, incorporated in the state of Florida. We are a unique operations. We really started gestating this long-term project. There are a lot of programs, conferences on China going global. We heard one speaker today saying, I think one of the previous speakers to you saying, everybody's going global. Well, yes, everybody has been going global since the 1980s. So it is not really as telling us much. China is gradually emerging as the dominant world economic power within the foreseeable future, and understanding the phenomenon in its macroeconomic dimension and in its microeconomic dimension at the enterprise level is one of the tasks that has been undertaken, modestly so, by the Chinese Globalization Association. There are members of the board of directors who constitute really the think tank, if you wish, and I'd like to introduce them one by one, in no particular order, actually, not in the order of creation. William Wan, if you would please stand up. William has a PhD from Pierre Mendès France University in Grenoble, and he's currently running an international MBA program in China with KEDGE, which is a large French business school which has a large operation on the Jiaotong University campus. The second one is Christoph Latterman from Jacobs University in Bremen, Germany. and Christophe hosted the event. China Goes Global #7, maybe, in northern Germany on the occasion of the Year of China for the port of Bremen, one of the old Hanseatic League ports, long devoted to trade with Asia and China. Nothing new there, but it was an acknowledgement in the 21st century of that long-held relationship. Importantly so, my partner in crime, the inimitable Ilan Alon. As you can see, he speaks Chinese. He also speaks Norwegian and a few other languages. He is currently at Agder University in Norway. And he holds a chaired appointment at Rollins College, a Florida Ivy business school. I love Rollins College. It is a dream university for a professor like me, because it is small, it is humane, it is liberal arts, yet there is a business school, and the campus is wonderful. If you don't know Rollins, you should go and visit. And Ilan is really a very productive fellow. I don't know how many articles you produce a year. I know you review hundreds of them, but you produce at least 5 or 6, which is an achievement for a professor. And they're all primarily focused on China, so he has a depth and width of knowledge on China that is really quite surprising for someone who was not born Chinese, actually, if I may say so. And you have really devoted a significant part of your life to learning Chinese and exploring the China economic dimension. Our president, sitting president and founder, Julian Chang. Julian has a long and distinguished history as an academic. When I knew him, he ran the Asia Centers at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard, but he's also been at Stanford. He was at the Schwarzman Foundation in, I want to say, Beijing. And he's currently with a unique higher education enterprise called the Laureate, which is acquiring all sorts of schools in medicine, in business, and other branches of learning all over the world. So we're delighted you're here supporting us. Let me see. I'm sure I have forgotten someone quite evidently, or Wang Shan Lang, who is my colleague at Rollins College. I told him to stay here. And he has probably the deepest knowledge of Chinese history, I think, among us, I suspect. He's a professor at Rollins. But you have other functions at Rollins, and he's really the treasurer of our association. He holds the keys to the purse, as it were. So thank you for being here. I just found out, he's never told me, he's very shy, that his daughter is a 4th-year student in computer engineering at Georgia Tech. It's one of the premier programs in the world, so congratulations to you and your daughter, because she's about to graduate. So this is, and myself, and I think you can look me up. I'm the guy with an Irish name who's really French. Okay, so suffice it to say that should make me unforgettable. So this constitutes a unique group of individuals. We go by different names. I'll spare you what they could be. But we are the board of directors of the Chinese Globalization Association. I should say that next year, because we're always looking for unique places to hold this event, and the planning is already underway, it will be held in the town of Macerata. How many of you have heard of Macerata? It's in the province, Macerata. It's in the province of, yes, but in English. Provincia di Marche. It's on the Adriatic. The university there is 1230 vintage. It's a little older than Harvard, definitely older than Rollins, much older than Georgia Tech, and, well, much older than the Sorbonne, actually. It's a unique university because it is the home and the birthplace of a Jesuit priest by the name of Matteo Ricci, who, if you know, the relationship between the West and the East, and China in particular, is a significant moment, really, in that relationship, because Matteo Ricci, correct me if I'm wrong, taught yes, the first lexicon of the Chinese language in Western languages, became an advisor to the emperors of China, is really a figure of significance in the history of Western-Eastern relations. So in that context, we have selected Macerata. They have joined us. and Francesca, here, who is a professor of economics at Macerata, who runs the Confucius Center. Yes, China is present in Macerata, and the China Center will be taking the leadership in hosting that event. Macerata in the month of July, it's paradise on earth. You know, you're on the Adriatic. You got all sorts of things: wine growing, exploring Roman ruins, the history of the Roman Empire, the Italian boot and peninsula. We could go on, but needless to say, there will be a lot more interesting sites to visit than we have here in Georgia, although I hope you do spend the rest of the weekend, not tomorrow, visiting some of our Georgians. So thank you very much to all of you for being here. A number of our attendees have decided to explore Georgia on a rainy night. It's their loss, but we will definitely see them tomorrow. At what time do we start, Jim? 9. At 9, because we go on for another full day of papers and conferences, trying to accumulate a body of knowledge on understanding modern-day Chinese economic performance in the world economy. So thank you very much, and I think, Rick, I'll turn it over to you. What's next?
You have some awards to give away.
We have some awards, which are really NACA's awards, and I would like Lanny to step up. This is very generous. These are awards in recognition of the papers that were reviewed in the conference web tool, that were ranked, and we have selected two of those papers to give out an award. It's not only a certificate award, but it's also a prize. So Lani is going to do the award, but the first award goes to Ki Ai and Wei Tan for a paper called New Key Success Factors in the Management of Post-Acquisition Integration. Evidence of Chinese firms' outward acquisitions of European firms. Congratulations.
So we don't know who's going to get the award, what country they're going back to. So this is a cash award, so I can spend it tomorrow. I was going to pretend that I couldn't find it in my wallet, so I was going to use it. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And you want the board want to take a picture with him?
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
Come on.
Please.
Leona, Joe, and also the board, the China Go Global board.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go here.
Okay, Ren.
The process of referring papers is run out of Germany by Christoph.
Where?
Yeah, don't disappear.
Stay here for the next one.